Welcome everyone, Fable Fox Weaver here, and tonight is a... Oh man, I have the wrong thing. Damn it! Do-over! Let's do-over! It's just chatting, it's not Lego. God damn it. Can I change it? What should we call it? Cosplay. It's simply cosplay. It's just cosplay. I mean, just cosplay. Just chats play. Just chats play. No, just cosplay. Let's not play too much with words that are already kind of made up. Well, all words are made up, but your mic is low. Is it the mic that is low, or is it me that is low? It can't be low. Check your headphones. Because it's right on the edge of the it's almost red. It's almost on it's to actually on the higher side. Talk loud, dude. All right. All right, let me just check. Let me just check loudly for Christina to hear. I'm right next to you. Why do you need me to? All right, so yeah, okay, so the title is set, and I should yeah. Damn it. I have a list. I swear to God, I have a list of things that I need to check when before starting the stream. Sometimes I don't read the entire list. Let me put the chat on the phone. Where is it? Oh, look, kittens on Instagram. So tonight we talk cosplay. Where should we start? I do have a list of things to talk about. I have here contests, do-it-yourself projects, sustainability, cosplayer as an adult. I don't know what that's like. Tips for people who want first self-made cosplay but feel overwhelmed or lost. That's a lengthy one, but I think we can cover it. And on the last Just Chatting stream, we covered about 2 hours of video. I think we can, yeah, I think we can do it for this one as well. Where should I start? Where should we start? I think I should start while there aren't a lot of people here. I can repeat myself later, doesn't matter. Why is it relevant that I talk about cosplay? Well, because I'm a cosplayer. In case you haven't noticed, you can even check right there a little bit of the background. I have used we are all kids here, exactly. I have used our cosplay pictures to make up a background. It was supposed to be temporary. It's been how long? A year and a half, maybe. It's sort of temporary. Well, temporary is relative. We're all temporary. Why is it relevant that I talk about cosplay? Why is it? Why should you listen? Well, because I'm a cosplayer. Together, me and my fiance have cosplayed for the last 7 years. 7 freaking years. It's been how many costumes? Not like there are people with a lot more, but we have done a few. Let's see, we've done our first 2 costumes were Assassin's Creed, one for each, completely original, from scratch, designed and made. It was amazing. Pretty cool cosplay experience, if I should say so myself. And then the second one, at least for me, it was more like, oh, that's a nice jacket. I could cosplay Star-Lord with that, and then it happened. And I have been working on the mask for the last about 6 years. Christina then did Arwen from The Lord of the Rings, which is also like I feel like every costume we've made has been completely different in terms of like the way it's built, because we had original characters. We've had characters that weren't original and that we didn't put that much We didn't try to build everything from scratch, and then we have some that we did try to build everything from scratch. Some of them that were built to be comfortable, some of them were built to be budgety, some were so it's like a wide range of goals. I feel in terms of like the way to build a costume. So I feel like I have some even though we don't have a lot of costumes, I feel like we have some relevant experience in making costumes because we've tried so many different things. But as I was saying, Arwen was very fun because we I think we made the entire thing under 20 monies. Like it wasn't the most expensive fabric. It did take some time, and we did have help building sewing the costume. And then we made the crown. It was like steel wire and aluminum sheet, mostly scraps. So it was not that expensive. Well, if we were to buy things on purpose, even then, it wouldn't be that expensive. Definitely not as expensive as buying it, as I found that Arwen crowns can be pretty expensive if you go on. Just check Etsy. Well, everything on Etsy is pretty expensive, but they go easily above 100 150 monies. And we did the entire costume, and I'd say the crown is pretty well made. The costume, the dress itself is pretty well made. And it was really not that expensive. And considering, like, comparing to other costumes we've made, we did have help, but it didn't take as long as some other costumes we've made. So I think that's a great jump into sustainability. A great jump into sustainability because, like I was saying, it was a very budgety and I would say, well, it wasn't noob friendly because I did have to tap into abilities that were kind of on the less common side, like bending aluminum sheet, gluing aluminum sheet. You have to do research like the proper glues to do that. You would have to be very handy with your hands to bend the steel wire like in the right way and be very stubborn to do it well. If you're not a very patient person, you would probably not have a lot of fun with that. But in terms of sustainability, we did use well, sustainability. It depends on how you define what sustainability for what. You mean sustainable for you or sustainable for the planet? I would need Knockers to be here to clarify. But for now, I'm gonna say to you because I feel like that's a core. Who's there? Mr. Frost Cause, hello, man. Hey, you know, Mr. Frost, you know? Do you know? Are you aware of who this person is? I assume it's the same person because who else uses Frost cosplay? No, he made he's into 3D printing and he created an Iron Man suit. Exactly the same. You remember that ad that I made for Marvel's Avengers? The ad for when I was playing the game, I made a little short clip that he's like jumping into the space in a white suit. He made that one, and it was pretty cool. He even did the things on the backs. Yes, it is the same person. It is I, Mr. Frost Cars. That's a very I don't know exactly what your like the characters you use on Instagram, but it sounds very catchy on Twitch. Frost Cause. Yeah. So tonight I was talking, and feel free, by the way, Mr. Frost. to add any, to suggest any
Hey,
subjects,
how you doing?
any subject that we can talk about anything here. It's a safe space, sort of. Knockers did suggest talking about contests, do-it-yourself projects, and sustainability. So I was going into sustainability, but now that Mr. Frost is here, maybe I'll jump to contests, because it is I, the club. It's a joke from. Oh man, I have not. My, I'm gonna make you sound old. I'm sorry, but my mom talks about that show, or I've heard her talk about it. I've never watched it, sadly. Um, I'm sorry. I watched that show. You did? I don't remember watching it. I do like sitcoms, especially. I like the kind of British humor. It is British, isn't it? Okay. For a minute, I was afraid. Mr. Bean. There's a show called Episodes that kind of mix American humor with British humor, and I really really like it. But cosplay contests, our experience, it's been a voyage. It's been a trip, because when you started cosplaying, we went hard, kind of like you, Mr. Frost. You like, I don't. The first thing I remember seeing from you was that Iron Man costume. Like, that's not usually what people start with. They tend to tackle simpler projects from what I've seen. But then again, I think we also need to take into account the demographic, because I feel like a lot of people that get into cosplay are kind of younger than us, and usually have more time, but usually less funds, and less maybe less I don't want to say, but less skills, maybe less developed skills. I didn't start, like, all the skills that I used into when I started cosplaying. I already had some of them. I already enjoyed working with wood and not sewing, but we already worked with leather, so it was kind of easy to adapt and to build something that looked kind of good. Um, Even though we weren't, it was just our first costumes, our first costumes. I need to put the chat over here, otherwise, please go and watch it. I'm gonna take note. I did take note. It's on my book. All the way, yes. If you can make a full Iron Man suit, then you can make anything. Exactly. Because Christina is American. I am. I was already aware of kind of what cosplay, and I had an idea. I had never gone to Comic-Con, but I had an idea of what it looked like. So when we decided to cosplay, actually, our first Comic-Con, we tried, like, super easy budgety cosplay with friends, because we knew they weren't gonna go very deep into it. So we didn't feel like it was supposed to be a group thing, and it failed miserably. So for the next year, all right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. We started, like, brainstorming what kind of characters we could play, cosplay, and then designing the costumes and so on. And I think we went for for a first costume. Maybe it was a little bit too hard, and that's why it took like a couple of years to get it to a point where I was like, all right, this is okay now. I do love your work. Your assassin costume is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, that assassin costume was my first cosplay. It was Christina's first cosplay as well, or the purple. The purple, was it? No, it was purple. And thank you. I do love your Iron Man as well. Although I feel like you managed, like, it took you about a year, right? Yeah, that's more or less the amount of time it took us for our costumes as well. But we kind of procrastinated, so some of the work jumped into the second year, and it took us a while to get into contests. I made a costume fabric part. 1 month with cosplays. Yeah, never again. But then it evolved. I could actually show you. Hold on, let me bust out. Oh, hold on, not yet. Let me grab my Instagram page. No, you know my Instagram page. Maybe I can. Nah, never mind. Will it open? That is the question. Why is the camera not showing? Oh, of course. Of course. It has to go down. Professional streamer right there. All right. So I'm gonna go all the way back to our first. This is very self-promoting, isn't it? I'm gonna go all the way back. All the way. Oh, okay. So see, this was Christina's first one. It was for the first Comic-Con. It was pretty cool. Was this actually on the first year or the second one? I can't tell. I think it was the first one. I'm looking at the background to see if I can tell. And then we kind of like her costume is the one that changed the most. I only added a hood. Mine didn't have the hood like this, but different. And then on the second turn, it was this one. It was white. The hood wasn't great. Yes, a full year, but learning curve is huge. I felt like I learned 3 or 4 years in just 1 year. Yeah, because you were learning 3D printing and as well, right? You were kind of doing two things at once, and I think it's great. Like if you get into something like 3D printing, if you want to get into it, you need a project, something to motivate you to evolve your skills and continue to practice, because otherwise you buy the printer and you don't really have a goal. It's just gonna stay there because what are you gonna print? You don't know. And then finally, where is it? We got the last one. That white one eventually evolved again. Oh, it's there. It's that one. Into that one. Well, I can't see properly. Where is it? It's gotta be somewhere. Pretty sure we have pictures. Oh, that one is good. What? Okay, yeah, no, chill. We'll get there. Into that one. That's the last one. We completely removed the hood. As for mine, I don't think we have pictures, because every time I look at them, it's like, why would I post pictures of that? I might as well. I have a better costume now. It's the same costume, but let me see if I can, because I know I have photos on DeviantArt. What? Saying mine was lower. If I keep going down, I'll find it. Are you sure? Where is it though? Oh, Jesus. Are you sure? Because this is my page. I'm pretty sure I would know if there was a... Because that one did not look great. Like the hood part, I wasn't happy with it. What? What? It's not there. You mean this? Then move on to the side? Maybe? No. This is my stream. Let me do the thing. Oh. I still haven't gotten to any of the topics I said I was going to discuss. But I want to show the evolution. So, okay. But we do have it. I'm all over the place. I do have tips for people who want to first to start to get into cosplay, and they want to make their own costume, but they might feel overwhelmed or lost. And that's the thing. There's no one forcing you, so you can set your own goals. If someone is forcing you, call the police. Or wink 3 times, so we know. Somewhere in there. Ah, there you go. 2000. Oh man, he was so young. Look at him. He doesn't know what's gonna happen. He has no idea. Completely lost. But yeah, here you kind of see the steps in evolution, like from the drawing to the like. I had a arm plate for some reason here. It didn't make it to the last to the end. As for the rest, it's pretty spot on. And you can't see the hood, but there was a hood there. It just didn't look great. And that was Christina. Also, the sort of evolution, kind of digitalize the drawing because why not? Then colorize it so Christina would know the colors. Then we found the closest fabric we could find that looks nothing like the thing that I imagined in the first place. And here you can see the hood. It doesn't look great. And here you can see like the best photo I have, and it's like the worst hood. Still. So it's I think the first wait. But it was super funny because I printed the entire suit, but didn't know how to prime and paint the rest. Also, some electronic parts. Yeah, like that's the cool thing about cosplay is that you have to complete a project because usually you are alone. You have to know a lot of different skills. In this case, in Mr. Frost case, 3D printing, painting, electronics. But yes, if you have the project or idea for the project, it's much better. You don't have time to waste or procrastinate. Yeah. I would say like if you want to get into cosplay, the first thing you need to do is figure out what you're gonna do. Like what character? What is it gonna be an original character or is it something that is already made? I think something. Either way, none of them is easier. It really depends on what you're doing. There was I had a discussion with a professional cosplayer. Her view on the subject is that original characters should not be allowed in contests because they are easier. And my god, no, they are not. It just like all the other ones, it depends on how far you want to go. So I asked her if she had ever made an original cosplay, and she said, yeah, she put together like half mermaid she already had and put on a t-shirt. Well, that's not really an effort, I would say. So this is an original costume. It's got a lot of effort into it. It has a lot of even research, investigation. Like that scabbard right there. I talked to a guy who had a tutorial on how to make leather scabbards properly, like accurately. And this is the thing that I can be most proud of in this costume because it's actually accurate. Well, not the buckle. That was a little bit offensive. I took the idea and I kind of molded to my needs, but the scabbard itself was very meticulously, and there was a lot of research put into it. And sadly, I for some reason I can't find the page anymore. It's no longer. I don't know where it is. It's gone from the internets. I can no longer find the tutorial. If I want to make another one, I'm gonna have to reverse engineer mine, the one that I already made. But yeah, first of all, figure out what you want to do. Second of all, and I know that a lot of people getting into cosplay are young people and they don't have time for that, but make a plan. Start with a drawing. It can be a drawing, it can be something that registers your idea. My memory is crap, so I am used to having great ideas getting lost forever because I didn't take note of them. But planning is, I wrote an entire article on it, just completely focused on planning and how to make a good plan and how to evolve that plan. because it helps you. So it's like it's overhead. It's something that doesn't directly add value to the final product. It's not sewing. It's not you. At the end of the day, you're not going to have something visible that you can touch and say this is cosplay. But in the end, it's going to make the manufacturing faster. It's going to save money. It's like you're not going to buy fabrics to figure out that they're the wrong fabrics. Or I mean, electronics, you got to make a plan. You can't just go and buy some LEDs and then figure out if they are right or not. For example, in this costume I'm showing, it's leather. Leather is not cheap. So if you're going to make something made out of leather, you're going to want to make a plan so you don't waste money on a material that you're going to ruin. So yeah, step number 1, figure out what you want to do. Step number 2, figure out how you're going to do it. And step number 3 is just do it. Is like Shia LaBeouf says, it's just do it. And yeah, and in the part where you just do it, you gotta keep in mind that I mean, you gotta do your best, right? I mean, otherwise, what's the point? But also keep in mind that there's also a life that you have that you shouldn't be wasting. Except if you have a fiancé that uses a lot of leather and then you steal the leather. Yes, but or when you go to the leather shop and you buy leather and then your fiance steals the leather, and then when you go and use the leather, it's no longer there. They're like, what happened? Well, I used it to make a profit. That's fair, but I steal your leather, you steal my leather, let's just call it even, okay? And I've seen like in 7 years, I don't care. I don't care a lot about the negative. I don't really care what people might say about. Oh no, that's not true. I care. I get pissed. But the point is, you shouldn't care what other people say. You should be happy. You should be happy when you're building your costume, and you should be happy when you're wearing it. And that's it. If you are not happy, if you are taking 3 months building a costume and you're not happy with what you're doing, maybe stop. That's my advice. Figure out some other way to do it that makes you happier. Or if you really want to use a costume and you don't want to make it, just buy it. It doesn't make you any less of a cosplayer. It might be more expensive, but that's it. There are very wonderful artisans out there that can make stuff for you. People comments can take some damage. Yes. If you get into forums, okay, that's a good topic, especially for newer cosplayers. Forums are great because you can find information. You can Google as well, but in forums, if you ask, you're going to have focused responses from experienced people. They're going to tell you there's a hidden store somewhere within the city of Coimbra that sells something that you can't find anywhere else, for example. So, but in forums, you're also going to get, dicks, assholes, all kinds of mean people. It's not really a cosplay advice, it's more life advice. You got to learn to deal with that if you're going on forums on the internet. I mean, it can be hurtful, but I mean, what you gonna do? It's best to learn to deal with it yourself than trying to change them one by one. It's gonna take not just the internet, even in real lives. Well, that's true. It's taking a dark turn here. Yeah, I mean, all right. When we started cosplaying, I had even if I didn't say it, I would be judgy. I'm trying to be empathetic with some of the people that might say mean things, but I don't think it's join the dark side. We have the best cookies. Yes, chocolate cookies. I when I started, I had an idea of, like I said, we went hard. We went for something that was a little bit over our heads. Because that was the idea that we had from the when you see videos from Comic Cons from the States, from San Diego, New York, and so on. What they show you is the prettiest costumes, and that's the idea you get about cosplay. And so naturally, when if you have if you don't have any other source of experience and information, you might be tricked into thinking that all cosplay must be like that. They're like huge wings and full of LEDs and millions of hours of 3D printing and so on. So when you get to an event and you see, most of the costumes are very simple. You might be, if you're not a great person, you might think, it's not really cosplay, is it? You gotta put a little bit more effort. But the thing is, you're the one you gotta adjust your view. And that's something I did during the last 7 years. I learned a little bit. And I grew, and I learned to accept things that at first I didn't think were cosplay. Yeah, or not that I didn't think were cosplay, but didn't really accept as good cosplay, including, for example, lingerie girls with Neko ears, cat ears. If they're happy, let them be happy. Cosplay is just a word. It doesn't matter how you oh, the thought escaped me. Never mind. Anyway, cookies. Where? Interpret. No, that was not where I was going. It's how it's not how you. No, it's how you. Damn it. I think there was an expression. Anyway, it's acceptance, and I think acceptance comes with experience and maturity, and that's what you gotta realize. When people are mean, basically they might be lacking a little bit of maturity. I think that's it. Yeah. Now back to contests. It took us a while to get into contests, because once again we had the idea that if we were going to go into contests, we would have to go to win. And I still have that kind of mentality. I mean, if not to win, but if I'm going to go into a contest, I gotta bring something that is winner material, but not necessarily for the win, but to present something that makes me proud. That's where I'm going. Like my very best. This is the best I can bring on stage. So yeah, the goal didn't shift that much. Just the idea. Maybe when we started, I would go, yeah, we gotta go for the win. But once we actually did start going to contests, I would say our first experience is pretty magical. It was pretty amazing. Davy Jones convinced us. We talked to him outside. It was either Comic-Con or either anime, and he convinced us to give it a shot. Go on stage just once. And I was like, oh, I need to write the skit and everything. But we eventually did it, and we went to a smaller event. Man, I thought it was going to be smaller, but the room was full. And a theater with about 150 people. It was like it was like people coming out of everywhere. It was like there was nowhere to sit. There were people sitting on the floor. It was completely full. Fire hazard. And that is still today the best. It is a bit of a tie, but it's still the best stage experience that I have had, and I think also that Christina had, because the theater was built in such a way that it was really close to the people. Unlike, for example, Lisbon Games Week or Iber Anime, where you have like a ditch between you and the people, the audience. And in that theater, we heard everything people said. We could hear it, and actually, I think if we probably didn't need the audio, because if we just talked, people would also hear us, and that was the cool thing is when we designed the skit, we cut, because it was such a lot of content to fit into 3 minutes. We cut a lot of that space, like I did a whole pass through the video to cut time between words so that it could fit into the 3 minutes. And we didn't have time for the laughs. Like, you make a joke, the audience is gonna laugh. If you continue to talk, they're not gonna hear you because they're laughing. So we didn't account for that, and we completely forgot that people were gonna react, and that was actually an issue there. Is that we were trying to hear ourselves in the recording. I couldn't do the lip syncing very well sometimes because people were laughing so hard. And we could hear the comments, and like the life coming from the audience. When, for example, there's a moment where Christina opens her swords, and you could hear the and some comment like way in the back of the room. Oh, he's fucked. You couldn't help but laugh as well being on stage, because it was such a back and forth, not just between me and Christina, but also between the audience, and it was pretty amazing. It was like having a conversation with a third person, and getting the feedback. We presented the same skit on another occasion on an empty, almost empty theater, and it was dreadful because you didn't have that. You made a joke and it was silence. It was like, oh, this is not going right, but no, it's just empty. That's what it is. And on that contest, I learned to appreciate that and understand that. And this is my opinion. You shouldn't go to contests for the win. I mean, you should go to contests to. I mean, if you want to go for the prize, go for the prize. But if you feel like, oh, it's gonna be easy, I can just bring something, and that's not really worth it, because you are. It's actually a little bit selfish, because you are forcing like a bunch of people, say 10 people, doesn't matter, 10, 100, 1,000, to watch you for 3 minutes. You gotta show them something. And I don't mean this as a deterrent for people. Oh, I can't do it. No, you can. You gotta find the balance between putting an effort to bring something good that people can watch and be entertained for a couple of minutes. Also, don't let that be a deterrent to keep you from actually going on stage. So you gotta find the balance. Go, but don't go like lighthearted. Put your back into it. That's what I mean. but that's, you know, perfectly balanced, as all things should be. You gotta find the balance. 43 minutes. We're making good time covering the subject. Am I doing good, or is this crap? Good. I got a thumbs up, and she's very. She wouldn't give me the thumbs up if I didn't deserve it, I think. Right? Oh god. Well, do it yourself projects. That's kind of cosplayer as an adult. Cosplayer as an adult. Cosplayer as an adult can be a little bit challenging just because you're doing fine. Thank you. Last time I was doing this, there were like 10 people here, so it had a bit more interaction. Not that I, not, you know. Watarino no Jutsu. All right. Again, not that you're not interacting. It's just I'm hungry. Hello, Arizato. We were just kinda talking about you. I talked about NaniCon and Mr. Frost. You don't know that, but Arizato was one of the judges at NaniCon the first time we went on stage, and I think that's where we met, like first time shaking hands. I think we might have known each other before, but not like in person, like talking to each other. I just arrived home. This is my very first time here. Oh, don't forget to follow. There's a follow button. I enjoyed doing Just Chatting stream last week so much, I decided to do another one, and this time I came prepared. I have material to present. Not material to present. I just have a way to present things. I think so too. Yes, I'm very social.
To that I say, all right.
Never opened Twitch before. It's I would say it's a. Maybe you should, because you have, even if you don't stream that frequently. I think you have, but you have Instagram. I mean.
On your left.
Hey Pyro, hello. Thank you for the host.
Is that everyone?
I hope you're enjoying it, Mr. Frost. And maybe one day you could stream your cosplay works. You know, I know it's a lot of 3D printing, so we would just be staring at a machine for a lot of time. But you know, when you're painting the details and stuff, there's a lot of crafters. Excuse me, on Twitch. Christina actually streams crafts. She streams leatherworking. You should also check her out. Why don't you shout out yourself? That sounded mean, didn't it? Hello, Bianca. Wow, all the cosplayers here. Wow. We hosted at the same time. Well, thank you, Arizato. Thank you. So that's where you can find. That's where you can find, well, Arizato and Christina's stream, and Bianca as well. So all the cosplayers, yes. Although, yeah. Oh, Celeste.
On your left.
Arizato is playing Celeste. So Bianca was actually the one who suggested talking about tips for people who want to get into cosplay, but might feel overwhelmed and lost. To sum it up for you, Bianca, I kind of already talked about it, but I'll sum it quickly. It was like, first step, figure out what you want to do, which character, or you know, if you're going to design it yourself. Second step, figure how you want to do it, plan, see what skills you're going to need, what items you're going to need, what resources, and then you apply it. And I think that's like the simplest, best way to do it. You might want to wing it, but you might spend you might develop skills you end up not needing. You might waste time. You might waste money. So I would go like that. I would focus on a thing, Make a plan and then do it. We here for all the cosplay informations. All right. Well, those were my tips. But if you have your own, like Bianca has been cosplaying for a while too. We actually met at NannyCon as well. I want to do it pre-made. What? What does that mean? By the way, everyone here knows Mr. Frost, right? Do I need to introduce you guys? Because Mr. Frost is also a cosplayer. And he has been building pretty cool stuff. You should check it out on Instagram. Also, anyone want to go to a stage performance? I have way too many ideas. Oh, Arizato, like that's the thing, isn't it? Here we're all, both me and Arizato, we have ideas to bring on stage. We lack the manpower and the costumes. We have an idea for a skit that I am pretty sure could take us to Japan if we had the costumes. I kind of started, but it's a long way to go. My problem is I've always bought my cosplays, but there is one or two cosplays that are too expensive or just plain hard to find, and I'm considering doing it myself, but I know nothing of sewing or making props. Well, Bianca, that story sounds very familiar to me. Arizato, that's a dangerous question. Fable would like to debate the ideas. I wanted to say the same. No, but I'm sure of it. I know my material is good. It would for sure. I just need the costumes. But it's something that it's gonna take a long time because I want to do it right. I got the material justice. But back to what Bianca said. Sorry. I can't read and chat at the same time. Jesus. You are typing way too much. She's like aggressively. No, like I'm trying to keep up. Please stop. Bianca, your story seems very familiar to a story of a young Christina that I met one time, and she was like, she had just gotten out of college, and she wanted a leather thingy that we used to use. And she was no longer going to use it because she was no longer in college, and that was a thing. And she was like, I want to buy one, but they're really expensive. And so I got her the tools, which were kind of the same price actually, but she could make more than one. And I gave her the tools and said, here, you got the tools, make it. Not exactly like that, more like a suggestion. But anyway, now she makes it for a living. So you gotta start somewhere. If you wanna make it, take a step first, then take another step. Just get into it. You might not. Maybe you're not gonna sew a costume on your first day. Or maybe you will. You never know. And maybe you can sew a costume and then be like, well, maybe I should have not done this. You're going to learn. That's the point. You're going to evolve. So I think if you want to do it, you just try. You gotta try. Making props, same thing. Like if you go on forums and you ask, props are more my thing, between me and Christina. If you go on forums and ask, people are going to say, use EVA foam. And EVA foam is cheap and affordable and very easy to work with. And it's a great material for beginners. But don't let that hinder your creativity. If you have a skill like woodworking, or paper mache, it doesn't matter. If you have an idea on how to make something, just give it a shot. Just try, even if it's like on a smaller scale. Just see if it works, if it could work. You might develop something new. You never know. Bianca, best thing is to watch tons of sewing videos and try to find patterns similar to the cosplay you want to do. Yeah, I mean, on the age of information, that is you got lots of tutorials, and the tools are often like beginners tools are often not that expensive. I mean, if you're going to sew, you might need it depends on what you're sewing. You might need a machine, or maybe you'll just need a needle and some thread. It depends. Make mock-ups. So you don't waste fabric. That might be expensive. I think my next time on ECG, I might actually have a good chance at winning. All right, and I hope we're there to cheer you on. Wait, is that in Portugal? I hope you're not talking about... No, you won C4, right? Okay. Yeah, I just feel overwhelmed because I don't know where to start. Okay. Okay, you don't know where to start. I would say start, like, instead of a costume, try making like a wallet. Try making a wallet like a pouch. A fabric pouch. It doesn't need to be functional. You can dismantle it in the end. It's just for you to see how a pattern might work. If you're just doing a pouch, you're not going to waste that much fabric. You're going to learn if you have the little bit of love for sewing, because if not, you're gonna realize quickly. Oh, sorry. Do it right on the first try. That would be awesome. Just so you have an idea, one is the leather top that Rebecca Chambers is in, and the other project is Ahsoka Tano with the green lightsabers. Paper mache cosplay, let's go. Listen, Pyro, we're making jokes, but I do find it very entertaining to see like extreme budget cosplays, or recycling cosplays, like because you have like limits, right? Like if you go to a contest, you're gonna have people who spent 1,000 monies on a costume and put 3 years into it, and you're gonna have people who put on a t-shirt that afternoon. You can't compare the two. It's impossible. It's ridiculous. It really. Contests make no sense in that regard. Like if you watch Forged in Fire, they have the same tools, more like the same tools, the same amount of time. That's a contest. If you just let people go and do whatever they want, okay, it's a contest, but what really are you comparing? It's not the same skills. You're comparing a dress to an EVA armor. It's stupid. It makes no sense. Do I enjoy the prizes? Yes, I do. I want them, all of them, for myself and for Christina. But the contest itself, the comparison of cosplayers like that, it makes no sense. If you do like recycling or very budget limited contest, and you might find those somewhere on Google. It's fun because none of those is going to be ridiculously good, and you get to see people's creativity at work. It's fun. I happen to like making props more than sewing because I don't know how to sew. I'm with you, Mr. Frost. Exactly the same. Christina got me a sewing machine. I swear to God, I will try it one day. I want to try things that I never did. So do I. That's what I enjoy the most about cosplay. That's that guy right there. That on that picture, he designed. He made a folding bow, like a bow that unfolds, and he didn't do it because he had to. He did it because he found it was a cool idea. Like 3 people saw that unfold, but still worth it. because it was fun to make, and it's actually funny to think that most of those designs were made in the bathroom. Anyway, I am the opposite. Props are Fable's thing. I do the fabric, but I do want to learn more. Her hair, I would like to do like a helmet kind of prop. I don't think there's really any other way to do it. Whatever you're gonna do, it's gotta be like some sort of helmet, like that you put on, because how else is it gonna work? Even if it's just made of cotton candy, it's like a helmet. You gotta put it there, and it's gotta stay there. I use Roofmate for a weapon. That's kind of like, yeah, it's a little bit brittle. But if you put a structure under it and you finish it properly, I can see it working. And well, it might be too brittle for Hazuka, but it's a way. It's just you just gotta be creative. Who can use the most money? Did I say that? Because you got the quotes. The most. I meant the least. Maybe. We actually Christina entered a budget cosplay contest, but it was kind of I don't know. It wasn't very. It was a small event, so it wasn't like a heavily regulated thing. You just showed up and said, "Oh, this is." Oh, it was reused materials or something, I think. Because and she went with Arwen because the crown was like aluminum scraps and stuff like that. Yeah, that part always confused me. You mean the hair? You also can't compare how much you... Oh, the comparison. Okay. How much you... I'm way behind. How much you spend on a costume, because it's not fair. So materials are not judged, only how you arrived at the final result. Can't compare how much you spend on a costume because it's not fair. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I meant like... Sure. Yeah, you can't really compare... I think the only way to like make a fair comparison is if you put the contestants in an environment where skill was the only factor that you were actually judging. But it takes so long to build a costume that it's very hard to do that. Like Forged in Fire, can they make a sword? Maybe not a sword, but a knife in 6 hours? Maybe they can. But a whole costume, a whole set of armor, no, you're gonna take a lot more time. So it's that's why they go home and so they can build a sword over the course of 3 or 5 days, because it takes so long. You would have to do like cosplay camp and put people in there and not allow them to leave until they finished. I don't know. I'm already trying things I never did. Yeah, I've seen like that's a cool thing about your page, man. It's a lot of times I go there and you're trying, like the first time I saw your page, I saw you were just printing an Iron Man suit, and I was like, that's a cool suit. I know that from the game. And then you went with electronics. I'm an electrotechnical engineer, so I am used to electronics, and I was like, cool, I relate to that. And then you were doing like smoky things, and I was, oh, I don't know that, that's new to me. And I think that's your cosplay journey is a trip. It's very cool to see. Fable wanted a sewing machine, a beginner's one, to learn to sew. Guess who has used it? My wife gave me a sewing machine and I used it 3 times. Damn it, you're ahead of me. It was my Keyblade. Oh, okay. And it works just as fine. On contest, I mean. Otherwise, only rich people could participate. Yeah, I'm not saying that wasn't my point. I'm not saying you should compare the materials. I'm saying And I'm not saying everyone should use like the best materials. I'm saying everyone should use the same. Or not the same, but damn it, like, it's very hard to compare Belle from Beauty and the Beast to freaking, I don't know, an orc from World of Warcraft or something. Oh no, Warhammer. Those big guys with the armor, like, those aren't even comparable as characters. How are you gonna compare the costumes? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I have seen this in contests. I've seen contests where the judges weren't into cosplay. They didn't know really what they were doing there. They knew they were judging costumes. And B, they were very focused. So in this particular contest, there was an invited judge. One was like she was a sewing teacher. She like a fashion teacher. Guess who she's gonna pick between Warhammer and Belle? Just like, take a guess. Not that those characters were there. I'm just made up characters, actual judge. Of course she's gonna go for Belle because that's what she knows. And I don't know, the guy that is into web design and has played Warhammer 50,000 times and maybe knows a little bit on how to work with EVA, he might go for the Warhammer guy because it looks bigger and therefore it's probably harder than a dress. So it's like, you need to understand that the judges need to know all of these skills. And if you bring something new, how are they going to judge it? They don't know it. How you can show them how you made it, how it works, but they're still not going to get how hard it is to make if they've never done it themselves. So it's I'll take the prizes, but still, I don't think the contest makes a lot of sense. I think the thing that makes the most sense is being entertaining for the audience. Because let's be honest, the judges are like 3 to 5 people. Yeah, you gotta please them. But you also might have like 200, 500 people that are giving you their time. And I think that's the most valuable thing at the end of the day, and the most rewarding at the end of the day when they come to you and they're like, oh man, that was amazing. It's the best feeling, really. Only second to getting a trip to Japan. No, because I'm always late. They judge by like, okay, you use this type of material, but is it sturdy? Does it look smooth and clean? Is it usable? Can you move it with it? And also contests are judging performances a bit more each time, and I'm happy. Yes, that's good. That's good because your performance, everyone is more or like the same. Well, you can have acting classes. Damn it. Anyway, you can't please everyone. That's why I think sometimes you should have someone more impartial that can understand the difficulties and the level of detail. The entertainment part for me is the best. The trip to Japan is the best feeling in the world. I think the judges, need to be impartial and appreciate some works. Yeah, but it's always going to be a little bit hard to be impartial, isn't it? If for nothing else, let's go to our LGW experience, our Lisbon Games Week experience. There were 2 contests going at the same day, by the way, and appreciate work of art that appear in front of it. Anyway, I don't like the idea of competition. Yeah, but I think you can appreciate the idea of being entertaining. Like I said, that is the best part. Lisbon Games Week. There were 2 contests, and one of the contests required prejudging. By the way, why am I still showing that? It required prejudging, and the other didn't. So we participated on the one that didn't because we hadn't made our costumes. We made some props and some parts of it. We put together some parts of the costume, but like most of the work went to the skit. And one of the things that stuck to my head was one of the judges, who was dressed like Captain America, said, you know, DC isn't really my thing, but I enjoy the skit. But that's it. It can be hard to be impartial when you have an emotional connection to certain characters. You might feel drawn. You know what I'm saying. You might feel inclined to favor someone because you kind of feel something, even if you don't realize it, because you understand the character, because you know it, or even it's just nostalgic. So I think in cosplay it can be a little bit hard to be impartial. I love the performances, though I'm a bit judgmental on them. Get it? Because I was a judge. Yeah, I did get that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have. I'm not saying you shouldn't have competitions. Competitions are great because, well, it's in the fires of battle that you forge the best weapon. That sounded deep. It's actually just a bunch of words. Contests are great to show the work. And if you don't have contests, if you just open the stage and let people go in there, I don't know. They either might not work really hard for it. They might just go there because they think it's fun, and not really try hard to get the prize. And maybe in the end of the day, the quality might suffer, or they might not even show up because there's really nothing in it for them. I've heard a lot of people be like, all right, yeah, I'll go. I'm not doing anything. I'll try it. Maybe I'll win something. It's not bad. I'm just saying that you need. I think you need the competition to push things a little bit. But then, at the end of the day, if you don't win, you shouldn't really feel bad about yourself, because the competition itself doesn't really mean it losing a competition doesn't mean you're bad. That's what I mean. It means, just for starters, each competition has its own criteria. Maybe you just didn't fit the criteria. Different contests are going to have different rules, and that's it. Losing doesn't mean you suck. That's you shouldn't feel demotivated. Is it necessary to have the stage? Imagine being the opposite, where the best cosplayers are invited to participate in events and are at the events as public figures. Like Mickey Mouse at Disneyland. Sometimes that happens. Like, I just saw on David Jones' page a story about a store that is trying to hire a cosplayer to go to an event and basically, work for them, be there. I think that's, yeah. I wouldn't. Maybe not as a contest, but yeah. Oh no, I get what you're saying. You mean to entertain and show the work? Yeah, I think like. Okay. I feel like everyone has a different kind of goal when they get into cosplay. Some people are looking for attention. That's fine. Some people are looking to actually evolve to a point where they can make a living out of it. Great. Some people want to entertain. Some people want to be entertained. Right? If you increase the competitiveness in the same among cosplayers. I used to work in a restaurant as an entertainer with cosplay. Can you tell us more? It was pretty fun, really. Like, for example, Mr. Frost, you have that Iron Man suit. Man, that is a really cool suit. And kids, I'm sure they look at you, especially bright white. They see you from a distance, and they go like, "That's Iron Man," and they ask to take pictures. Like you just being at an event, even if you're not hired to be there, you're gonna be entertaining. Like excuse me, not everyone is gonna have like the same. Even if the costume is perfectly made, some characters are just not as they don't call for as much attention. And oh, that's the thing. I mean, if you're a new cosplayer and you're looking for attention, I mean, pick the right character. That's kind of no-brainer. If you go like if you want to go like Yagami Light from Death Note, no one is gonna look twice at you. If you some people end up mad that they were not recognized. You know, I mean, it depends on the character. It depends on the source material. I mean, what are you gonna do? Now, Iron Man, highly recognizable. Like in our first Comic-Con, it took us like 2 hours to go through the merch zone because people kept asking to take photos. I felt amazing. I was getting attention. I didn't get any money, but I got a lot of smiles, and it was fun. So yeah, to answer the question, yeah, you can do that, Mr. Frost. You don't need to go on stage. That is true. No, yeah, if your goal is to show and you are showy, you don't need to go on stage. But sometimes you do. Like when we were as Harley and Joker, we weren't. I don't think we were as flashy as that. And to show those characters in kind of a different light, I think that was the only way we could do it. Was on the stage. Plus, it was a musical number. It was fun. They say I'm crazy. No, do you want to know? Okay, just me.
They say I am mad.
She did it. We've sang that a lot. I said hi and bye to clients. I worked with Arya for Manga Sushi House. But I'm not saying to be hired to participate in the event. I'm saying that the best suits enter and walk at ease in the event. Oh. Okay, like having a facilitated entry or something? Didn't get any money. Pyro took note of that because it is all the work that the person has and ends up being the recognition of the organization itself. Oh, okay, I see where you're going. Like the organization giving you certain special conditions. Yeah, that is a nice topic. Me and Christina have been, for example, invited, kind of forced, by Davy Jones to give him a hand at a couple of events and go on stage, and not really in return, but he kind of offered us backstage access, and we had access to some dressing rooms. We didn't need them or use them, but it was still nice. I think we got a water bottle, not like a fancy one, just a bottle with water once. And so by helping him, we did get some kind of benefit. We went backstage. There was Iber Anime used to, at some point, give free entrance to cosplayers until people started abusing that, and they had to stop doing it. And that's actually it ties to a conversation that I had that I thought it was a moment of growth for me. I was talking with Davy Jones about that, or rather, I had been talking to someone about that during the day. You know how people abused that feature of an event, that by dressing up as cosplayers they could enter for free instead of paying like $10. So people put sheets over their heads and said they were ghosts or something. And that later in the day, David Jones was talking to me and saying, you know, cosplay is pretty cool and so on. People can just put a bandana on and they're ninjas, like Naruto ninjas. And I thought, yeah, and I saw that as an issue. It actually wasn't, because it was just saying how easy it is to get into it. To if you want to start cosplaying, it's just put on a bandana and you're a ninja. You can, I mean, it's a very easy ticket to get to enter, not the event but the community and the activity in itself, to have some fun and, you know, put a bandana, Naruto run across the event, you're a ninja. And that's what it meant, and it took me a while to get there. I always enjoy when people ask me, can you play the violin for real? And then I play for them and they just bright up. Love those kinds of moments. Man, we have a few moments. Like it just makes me happy just thinking about them. I don't play the violin. Or anything even close. But I recognize that going on stage is always a unique and super fun experience. It is. Yes. It is, but it can be dreadful, I think. If you go there and if you're not prepared and you don't get the reaction you're expecting, you might not leave very happy. So yeah, I think you gotta go in with the expectation to give to the audience something so that they can give you satisfaction in return. I feel like if you just go in there for yourself, if you just go there and sing because you think it's fun to sing at a stage, you might not get the best reaction, and it might make you sad. So that's what I was saying before. You want to go, you put a little effort into it, and I think the experience is going to be that much more rewarding. Because many of these events have and gain strength with cosplayers. I mean, yeah, where would Comic-Con be without cosplayers? Just think about that. And if we increase the quality of cosplayers, good things will happen for the community in Portugal. Yes, both the quality of them as cosplayers and as human beings, preferably. Of course, there would have to be a selection or pre-selection to have this access to event. That's a thing that happened once in Iber Anime. Christina and I went and we had to send photos in advance, and I got in, she didn't. But I got in and they asked us to send photos of the original character, of the character that we were cosplaying. And I just sent a photo of Robin Hood because my character was an original character. And I got in. So I kind of cheated. Sorry. But yeah, the process works. I mean, they looked at the thing and they thought, that's good enough. I was a part-time musician years ago. Yeah, we've had a tendency to break the rules a little bit. That's not cheating. That's playing the game. Yeah. I mean, Christina was rejected because, well, yeah, Christina's character was even more original because mine, at least it's called Robin Hood, you know. It's kind of a mix. Robin Hood, if he was an assassin, but Christina is completely original. She has an original name, she has an original like image, it was kind of hard for her to get in. I think we tried anyway. We sent like a picture of a random Japanese ninja, but they didn't. They were like, nah. They were too smart. The biggest reaction out of stage was with Sonic from One Punch Man, but it was kind of scary and creepy. The best ones are still on stage for me. Oh, I mean, like nothing beats NaniCon, where like every joke we made, there was a reaction. Even when there was no joke, I was like, what are they laughing about? But people were having fun, and that was very cool. The first time we went on a bigger stage on Lisbon Games Week, there's a moment on the skit where we do like a little harmony. Damn it, I almost shed a tear in that moment. It was like the spotlight helps because it's shining right in your face. But it was like that moment of silence when you know there's going to be an applause and we're still doing the harmony. It felt actually like the movement was kind of like this, and I opened the chest, so it got in there a little bit. But also outside of the stage, like our first time cosplaying, we didn't get a lot of. We went the entire day, and we didn't get a lot of people didn't interact with us a lot in the morning. And after lunch, we were kind of fixing our props, and an older man, older like kind of grayish hair, came to us and asked, "Hey, are you assassins?" We're like, "Yeah." It's kind of hard to recognize because these are original characters, but yes. And he turned on his back, and he was like, "Hey, come! They're assassins!" And there was this kid, probably like 10 or so, something, and he was so happy. He was literally jumping. And we took some photos with him. We let him hold our props. He was pretty happy with that. There was one time we were distracted. We were talking as a group, and I felt something tug me, my arm. And I looked, there was no one there, and I looked down, there was this little kid, and it was like, Mr. Assassin, can I take a photo with you? I was like, yes, can I take a photo with you? That is the question. Too good for them. Yeah. That was so cute. There was another one. I think probably our third year. God damn it, Joe Reitman. Joe Reitman turned to me and my character. Let me show you again. That character, most people would call him Green Arrow. Some of them even Zelda. They would just go, "Oh, look, it's Zelda." Damn criminals. So Joe Reitman looks at me and he goes like, you look a lot like, what you look a lot like? And I was expecting everything. I was expecting Link, Zelda, Green Arrow, maybe even Robin Hood. Who knew? And then he goes like, Stephen Amell. I'm like, that's the actor. Oh, Green Arrow, right. Yeah, damn it. It had to come from an actor to compare me to the actor and not the character. Anyway, I think it was in the same year that there was this kid, maybe 14, and he was with his mother, and I had these pendants that I bought that I ended up not using. I thought I could use like the Assassin's Creed logo. It was very cheap on eBay, so I bought like 10 for cents. It was very cheap, and I ended up not using because they were very cheap. And I decided, I have these, I'm not going to throw them away. I put them in my pouch, brought them to events, and I said, if I find an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm gonna give them one. And this kid showed up, and we talked a little bit about Assassin's Creed. We showed him the Eden Blades, and he was like, "Oh my god, how do you make that?" and I was like doing the responsible thing. You know, this takes a lot of math. You gotta study. You gotta study hard. With his mom approving, you know, behind him, like, yeah, you do that. Say that. You gotta study math and physics, geometry, and then you can make this. You can do this. Oh no, yes, you can. You study hard. You can make it. And then I ended up giving him one of the pendants, and he was like looking at me, for free? I was like, yes, for free. And he was very, like, the smile on his face. The next day we found him. It turns out he was staying in our hotel, and he was wearing it on his neck. It was a funny feeling, you know. It touches, it tickles around here. Gonna have dinner. Be right back. All right, Morisato. See you soon. We gave the assassin necklace to the kid, and we saw him wearing the next day. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. Some simple, very simple interactions. Dude, hero move. the math thing. Yeah, for sure. Like, the parents love it. Parents love it when the kids ask, "How do you do that?" And you go like, "Science. You gotta study." Both. I mean, you dress up like a hero, you gotta act like a hero. It's a whole package. And it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to see science, bitch. Magnets. We do use a lot of magnets now. It's like magic. Things just stick to each other. I mean, but yeah, it can be pretty fun, like Mr. Frost was saying, even without going on stage. Except when a kid runs with your sword, the superhero pose disappears fast. Oh yeah, it has happened a couple of times. You know, kids ask, "Hey, can I hold that?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure. Just be careful." And they grab it and they just start running with the thing like they're the hero, and they're like, "Oh my god, I just gave a sword to a kid." Then you see like a little kid running around with a sword, like, yeah, and a big guy just stumbling in his leather boots. Oh no, my god! Oh, don't let your mother see that. It happens. I had a blast without going on stage, as you see. Also, I couldn't walk, so win-win situation. To be fair, Mr. Frost, if I had your costume, like Iron Man, I have no idea how I would do a skit. I feel like if I had like 8 ballerinas, maybe I could pull it off, and fireworks and confetti, easy. But without those 3 things, because you can't bring confettis or fireworks, and I suspect 8 ballerinas are also out of bounds. I don't really know how I would do it. You could just blast out AC/DC. But I would feel maybe it would be a little bit lacking. You do have your thing, you know, a lot of LEDs, a lot of effects, opening and closing. The thing, catwalk, baby, yeah, for sure. And sometimes it's best. Sometimes it's best. I mean, for the cosplayers, you don't have to think about skit. But then again, it's so fast. You have like 30 seconds on stage, and you don't get to act at all. I mean, not act like I'm not some award-winning. Well, I am award-winning. Hold on, we are award-winning. We're not Oscar nominated people. So when I say act, I mean like you it adds a little. How do I put this? You can kind of show. you can kind of subvert expectations. I guess that's it. That's where I was going, and it's kind of fun to see people react to that. A musical with Joker, or some kind of jokey jokes with a Buffy assassin. You can have you have a different reaction. It's not. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's different. Well, classic Tony Stark dancing moves, but it's kind of weak. I know. Do the skit where he talks about the P filter. That is, yeah. But I'm going back to work on the suit to make it more practical, to move better for this ear. I feel like that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm very particular about costumes. Is the practicality. Is where am I gonna store things? Because I'm not gonna be walking around with my wallet in my hand. I gotta put it somewhere. You can see that guy. He has pouches. He has pouches for a reason. He has pouches so he can put things in them. And you can't see it in this photo, but he has a quiver, and the quiver is full of crap, like full of cookies and stuff like that, so he can survive the day. It's not just arrows. So always figuring out where to put things. Let me go back to Instagram. That right there, that hammer is hollow. We can open it and put stuff in it. It's just, always practicality. Always, can I survive wearing this for a whole day? And that's the thing I learned from Robin Hood, is that leather boots, they can hurt at the end of a day. Any kind of footwear that you're not used to can hurt at the end of the day. Yep, that's part right there. Jarvis dropped my needle. And armor particularly, it can look like not just your Iron Man suit, but for example, a big Warhammer armor. It looks great on photo. But especially in a skit where you kind of have to move, you're just not gonna convey the image of the character if you're not moving right. At least I kind of feel like it's a challenge. When I cosplay Robin Hood or Star-Lord, I kind of naturally maybe not my posture, because I have a pretty bad posture every time, but like the way I walk, it kind of changes just because I'm thinking of the character, and I like that. It just that kind of way you move. It's as much part of the character as the costume itself. Or an Halo armor. Yeah. I mean, all kinds of armor tend to be hard to use because, like, the actual armor would be even that would not be great. But it's if it's EVA foam or 3D printed, like if your parts are hitting each other, you're gonna chip the paint. You might damage the armor itself. So you're always going to be careful. Like, those armors weren't made to be used. They were made to look cool. That's another thing in cosplay. Sometimes things are not made to be made real. Like, I have a very good example. Donatello's one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Donatello's stick. That sounds dirty, but it's not. He has a bow, a wooden staff. Just see where he puts it. How does he keep it on his back? It's magic. It doesn't work. If you try to make it, it's not gonna. It doesn't. First of all, his back, he's round because he's a turtle. So there's little contact surface area. And second of all, in some iterations, he doesn't even have like a strap. He just puts the staff on his back and it magically stays there. So some things don't work when you try to translate them into reality. This year I'm going at least one day as a short trooper. I have pockets and I can sit and talk to people without looking like a real robot. How did I miss that? Love short trooper armor. That's it. I need it. Yeah. Put the Instagram. Thank you, Christina. That's true. Never. Do you know how I found that out, Nokus? Because I was trying to do the same thing. Christina's character has a wooden staff as well. And we had to figure out. We actually have. Well, where is it? No, that's not it. I think you can see it on this video. Hold on. See the wooden staff there? It can't stop. You can't stop it on Instagram. Damn it. Well, I hope you saw it. I can put it again. Go up. Okay, that's a good one. The more battle damage, the better. Return back. Science. We were trying to make this, and this is. I was kind of stupid because this was actually the most easy thing to. The easiest solution, but actually on the first try it was so much more complicated. She had like 3 belts on her body. You can see them here. She has here 1 belt. It goes like this. Then she has another half belt, and then another one. And it had, you see this little thing here? This little thingy? Let me see if I have a better shot. No. But I think I have photo somewhere. Let me see if it's on DeviantArt. I think you can see it here. This little assassin logo, she could pull on it, and it had like a mechanism made out of leather, and not rubber. What is it? Elastic? What do you call it? That fabric. Elastic? Okay, leather and elastic. And she pulled on it, and it kind of released the bow. And then she, with my help, she could put it back on her back because it's so lengthy. She couldn't put it on her own. She could put it on, and then when she released it, it clasped once again. And it was, I would say, it's damn genius, but also overcomplicated. And our final solution was just put a strap on the bow and tie it in front of you, kind of. Well, I'm going to play Resident Evil. Thank you, Biaka. Have fun. Thank you. And I do hope maybe we can talk about this again in the future. If you've learned something, I can keep talking. I can keep teaching. That picture is awesome, isn't it? Christina was so great, and the photographer, I never found him again. But yeah, we like it. He took some great photos of us. Not that one. Not that one. Where is it? This one. It was pretty good. Unfortunately, the suit wasn't at his best. But yeah, he did take some great photos of us. That's not the same photographer, but it's on the same Nuno Gomes kind of was pissed off the other photographer because he had an entire booth and Nuno was just taking photos on the side and he wasn't very happy with it. But I was happy with some of the results because this photo is pretty cool. But back to Christina. Christina also had some. I don't know if I have more of her here. But yeah, Christina can be very photogenic sometimes. I like this one, and I like the other one she has. Like this one. This one is pretty cool. Wait, maybe this is on the same place. Yeah, this might be. Yeah, maybe. Hold on. No, never mind. Oh, this is the moment I was talking about. The moment we went like this. This was a very happy moment for me. This one. I like this one. Also very badass. She actually looks like she wants to murder you. Gotta get to bed. You need to do more cosplay streams. Love the stories from the cons. Thank you, Pyro. Sure, I can. I don't think, I'm not sure. I think we talked enough about contests. And how they are good, but also not perfect. Do-it-yourself projects. I could go deeper into that because I like that. I like coming up with solutions and having an idea and bringing it to reality in a way that I haven't seen other people do it. That's the thing. When I see someone or something that is already been done like 50 times, I'm like, I know how to do it. It has been done. Is it really worth the effort? Maybe not. I don't feel as compelled as opposed to something that I haven't seen before. Like, for example, Mandalorian. I think I would have fun wearing it, but I don't think I would have as much fun making it because I've seen already so many people do it that it's not new. Night, have fun. Have a good night, Pyro. Thank you for stopping by. Christina can be very photogenic. Wow, thank you. You're welcome. It's true. I'm saying this because Christina sometimes when we do like a shoot, she's like, I don't know what pose to do. But as you can see, she can do it. She can do it very well. You can do it very well. You're the best in the world. I can tell. Cosplayer as an adult. This is the toughest one for me. I don't know. I think like being older than the average people in the room can always have its challenges. And it's definitely interesting. Because sometimes you're talking to, especially when they're heavily, you're not an adult, so you don't know. Yeah, exactly. but my ID says I am older than the average people around me now. I think like 7 years ago it was a little bit different, but now I feel, well, not really, because I have you guys with me. I have Christina, Risato also. We are about the same age, so we have a fun little group. Same, cries. But sometimes, especially when people have a lot of makeup and wigs and stuff that makes them unrecognizable, it's easy to be talking and forget that you're talking to someone who is like 10 years younger than you. Which, I mean, if you're 20, You're already an adult. But still, 20-year-olds can sometimes lack that. It might be, I don't know. They're young. They haven't lived enough. They haven't been through the things we have. They don't know what it was like in our day. When you had to click the buttons of the MP3 player until you found that song you wanted to listen to. They're from maybe the iPod era, where they could just pick from the menu. It's not the same thing. We're not the same. But curiously enough, we have met people even older than us into even backstage at contests, and it makes me feel younger again. So you got both sides of the coin. Yeah, I think I have kind of exhausted that subject. Yeah, it's very simple. I'm old, but I could be older. I could be younger. So you go, yeah. Yeah, man. I think I've exhausted the sustainability. What could we say? Sustainability. Sustainability. I do like, but this is like a personal preference. Although I feel like it's also great advice for people starting is if you have materials at home and you can reuse them, you're gonna save money. It's as simple as that. But sometimes you can also get better results if you have like for example, just an example off the top of my head. If you have to make like a tube like a space tube, maybe you already have some old tubes at home, and they will look better than if you make them out of EVA foam. So so you gotta work with what you have. That, for example, that wasn't really reuse, so that's not a great example. But that hammer is actually a garbage bin and a broom. Yeah, unfortunately they were bought new for this. It was the best we could find.
That's what she said.
But it could have been old. It could have been old. It wasn't old. It was. It could have been old if I had left it for a few years before I did this. Unfortunately, the bin we have is square, so it didn't work. But still, thanks to that brilliant idea, we can open it and put stuff inside. So there's that. Sorry, I'm still experimenting this. Oh, no, it's no problem. Feel free to experiment. Experiment away, my friend. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish I knew someone who was working streaming cosplay. There used to be a couple of cosplayers that I followed, but for some reason they haven't been streaming in a while. Anyway, I think it's been almost 2 hours, and I think that's it for tonight. I am a little bit tired because after all, it is a school night. It is a school night. Although tomorrow, I'm gonna have the day off because it's a holiday. So who are we gonna rate? Mr. Frost. this raid is like a feature where we kind of direct our audience to another streamer that is on. So I am gonna send you to another streamer. It's no one you haven't seen before. It's Biaka. She's streaming Resident Evil right now, and she was here earlier, and she did contribute with some topics. You were confused, Knuckles? Let me tell you, that is the one redeem that I regret the most, because there's always a little bit of a delay. So, and by the time you use it, and by the time I hear it, I have no idea what I said. So I am always confused when that plays. I have to go back like 5 minutes. Not 5 minutes, but it feels like 5 minutes in my head. Like, what did I say? Alright, so I'm gonna set the raid. And I did enjoy this a little bit. I think I wasn't very... I didn't prepare enough. I was all over the place. But it's kinda tricky. Preparing a just chatting stream, because if you have it very well prepared and not rehearsed but scripted, then people arriving at the middle are going to miss the end, and it might not make any sense at all. So I feel like it's best to go with the flow, even if sometimes I tend to run out of words in my head, or say something that maybe I shouldn't, although I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna raid Biaka. Let me put the cam there. Mr. Frost, don't be frightened. You're not. I'm not gonna send you into space. Although if I was, I know you would have the right space suit. We're just gonna change to Biaka, and gonna be done for the day. I hope you have a nice rest of the week. Let's see, today is Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm not streaming for sure. So we probably see each other, worst case, Sunday, when I'll be streaming Lord of the Rings. Let's do this. All right, everyone, have a nice night. I'm gonna give you guys the music in just a second, and when you get to Biaka's stream, let's bring some positive reinforcement, because let's be honest, Resident Evil can be a little bit... It's not happy, right? That's the one thing I don't like about horror games. So, everyone, have a good night. See you next time. Yeah, remember, be excellent to each other. See you soon. Thank you for being there, and yeah, let's bring some of the awesomeness to Biaka's stream. Bye bye.